Everyone loves the word overnight. Overnight success, overnight fame, overnight millionaire. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Overnight success does not exist. What exists is years of silent suffering compressed into a moment people finally notice. Tonight, we're exposing the dark sacrifices behind so-called overnight success. Not the motivational version, not the Instagram version, the real one. Stay with me, because if you're building something right now, this might change how you see your own struggle. When someone finally wins, the world rewrites their story. They remove the pain, they remove the doubt, they remove the years, and they leave one sentence: it just happened for them. But what you're seeing is the highlight, not the history. Success doesn't arrive suddenly. It reveals itself suddenly. Behind every overnight moment is unpaid work, ignored effort, repeated failure, and a person who refused to quit when quitting made sense. Most people never see that part, because that part is ugly. Every successful person survives a phase called the invisible years. This is when you work, but no one notices. You improve, but no one cares. You show up, but nothing changes. You post content, no views. You try again, still nothing. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. And silence becomes louder than criticism. Because at least criticism means someone is watching. This is the phase that breaks people. Not because they lack talent, but because belief becomes heavy when it's unsupported. Here's the first dark sacrifice of success. You outgrow people you love. Not intentionally, not arrogantly, it just happens. Your priorities change. Your conversations change. Your tolerance for wasting time disappears. And suddenly you're called boring, obsessed, distant, too serious. But what they really mean is you no longer match the version of you we're comfortable with. Growth is lonely, not because you're better, but because you're different. Before success begins, the old you has to die. The version that needed approval, feared judgment, waited for validation. That version cannot survive where you're going. And here's the painful part. There is a long phase where you are no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. That in-between phase feels empty. You feel lost, disconnected, unrecognizable, even to yourself. Most people quit here, not because they're weak, but because identity death hurts more than failure. While others chase safety, you choose uncertainty. No guarantees, no timeline. No promise it will work, just faith. That means anxiety-filled nights, self-doubt, fear you don't talk about. You learn how to function while unsure. And that skill, being calm in uncertainty, is something comfort will never teach you. At some point, failure stops hurting the same way. Not because it stops happening, but because you've seen it before. Projects fail, ideas flop, plans collapse, and instead of panicking, you think, okay, what's the lesson? This is where resilience forms. Quiet resilience, dangerous resilience. The kind that doesn't need motivation, because discipline has taken over. Nobody talks about this phase, the phase where you're better than before, but still unrewarded. You've grown, you've sacrificed, you've stayed consistent, yet recognition hasn't arrived. This is where bitterness whispers, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe I deserve more by now. Many talented people quit right before the breakthrough, because pressure builds silently until one day it explodes. Then suddenly, a video blows up, a call comes in, a door opens, and the world says, you're lucky. You came out of nowhere. But you know the truth. That moment wasn't luck. It was delayed payment, interest on years of belief. Here's the last sacrifice. Once you've seen what discipline creates, you can't unsee it. You can't return to excuses. You can't live small. You can't pretend anymore. Success doesn't just change your life. It changes your tolerance for mediocrity. And that can feel isolating, but it also feels honest. If you're in the dark right now, working without applause, building without proof, you are not behind. You are not failing. You are in the chapter most people never survive. Overnight success is a myth, but earned success is real, and it always asks for sacrifice first. Stay long enough to be seen.